It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Odd and stupid reasons you got fired. They're on the way here in a couple of seconds in the Playhouse Podcast. You ready for it? Let's go. Now, I discovered this a few years back when we would take calls and somebody would be like, oh, hey, this is Ashley. And Kat would be like, oh, how do you like your job at the DMV? And she'd be like, I really like it. And I'm like, do you know her? Are you guys friends? She's like, no, I just could feel that she probably worked at the motor vehicle department. I was like, this is bananas. So put her to the test. If you call us real quick and just give us your first name, Kat says she can tell you what you do for a living. I still haven't figured out how she does this. But let's get to you. What's your first name?
Jason.
Jason, Jason, right?
Yep.
There's not like an AY or anything there. It's just typical Jason.
Just typical Jason.
Gotcha. Kat, what are you feeling for Jason here? What does he do for a living?
Jasons are easy. Do you work in corrections, like at a prison?
Jail, yep.
Jail. Oh my gosh. All right. So right now, are you armed?
Nope.
Okay.
But the picture in my mind, were handcuffs. And it's either that or, some crazy behind the scenes
Let me ask
stuff.
you this, Jason. After listening to the show, who do you think would be a better model inmate, Kat or myself? Like one of your favorite prisoners?
I think I'd have to go with Kat.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, she's just got, yeah. And for several...
I'm good at following orders.
We've learned over the years that Kat has this unique way of being able to tell what people do for a living. And all you got to do is give us your first name. So if you want to try this out, I mean, every single phone line is lit up right now if you want to do another round. You cool with this?
Yes, we've had a ton today. This is crazy.
Your name is?
Ann.
Ann. Is that just A-N-N or is there an E on there?
Or is it like an Annabelle? I need like what you were born with.
Yeah, what's on your birth certificate?
Ann. A-N-N.
Okay.
Simple enough. All right, she just comes right back with the Ann. What do you got, Kat?
Well, sadly, some of the most simple ones are kind of tough, but automatically, Ann, do you work for a hospital in some capacity?
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Okay.
So explain to us what you do at the hospital.
So I'm a reimbursement specialist, so I make sure that the claims are paid correctly by the insurance companies.
Nice. Okay. Do you see some pretty shady stuff?
No, they're usually pretty good.
Okay.
Are
That's
people
good.
frustrated with you every day, though?
I don't work with the patients. I just work with the facility, so it's for the hospital.
All right. So, yeah, on that patient side, though, you'd have to assume that that's a rough job because nobody's ever happy with those.
Well, I would think if anybody's getting reimbursed, you'd actually be a call that they'd want to take.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was more like you had to figure out how much they were going to get back, and then they'd get pissed at you because they weren't getting enough back.
Nope. No.
Oh, okay. So you got a happy job. Well, hey, I appreciate you being part of the little family here.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, do you want to give this a shot? We could probably take a couple of more. And again, it always just starts when and be honest here, what is your first name?
Lauren.
Lauren. You want to spell that just to make sure Kat's got a good vibe on that?
It's not like a Y or an Ian.
Ian.
Ian. Okay,
so
easy.
Lauren.
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
Kat, what are you feeling for Lauren here?
Lauren, are you in property management? Like you go around to different properties and handle it?
Fixing, yeah.
Fixing. Oh, my God.
Wow, that takes some
Well done.
skill for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, is this a job you enjoy, like a career you're into, or is this just kind of a holding place?
I enjoy it.
Okay.
I like that. And how long have you been doing this?
Only for a week.
A week. Oh, my gosh. So this is brand new to you.
Yep.
All right. And what's the freakiest thing you've seen so far?
Nothing yet.
You tell me you haven't walked into an apartment because they needed something fixed and saw intimate things?
Not yet.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Are you one that has to go in and clear out hairballs from the drain, or would you have to call a plumber?
No, yeah, we do that.
Oh, gross.
God, I hope today goes well for you. I appreciate you checking in. Stay safe out there, Lauren.
You as well.
All right. Do you guys have time for one more? You want to do one more?
Yeah, I got one more of me.
All right. Hey, line 4, what's your first name?
Jamie.
Jamie. All right. And that's your birth name? Like Jamie, it's Jamie on your birth certificate?
Correct.
Okay. Kat, what are you feeling for Jamie here?
Jamie, this is a little tricky. Sometimes I have to go to hair color. Are you a brunette or a blonde?
Brunette.
Natural brunette. Okay. All right. That's what I needed. You work in the pharmaceutical world?
Yes.
Very cool. And so what exactly is your job title?
Certified pharmacy technician.
Okay. How long do you go to school for something like that?
I didn't have to actually go to school, but it was a year program that I did while I was working.
Oh, I get it. And you enjoy what you're doing?
I do.
Yeah, I like that. Is it weird to see how many actual drugs are out there? That's got to be mind-boggling.
Oh, my God, there are so many. And the worst thing is someone will call and say, oh, I need my little white pill filled. Well, there's like a bazillion.
Yeah, right.
This summer, I burned up almost all my vacation time. But you know what I didn't do? Was set an alarm and hit it 5 or 6 times to wake my wife up.
Mm-hmm.
When you get vacation time and your husband has to get up, does he hit snooze?
No, Derek is up. He is up and at 'em. Whenever that alarm goes off, he knows. He's like, listen to the studies that are done that it's not good for your heart to keep like going back to sleep for only 5 minutes and then having it go off
And you're not
again.
getting restful sleep.
I used to live that way. I used to set it for like 3:30 and then wake up at 3:50. So that's like every 5 minutes it went off. I never got back into a REM state. Now I'm up. I'm ready to go.
Here's what I've noticed is even the mornings that I had to get up before my wife when I was on vacation, there's no snoozing. Why? Because I'm a courteous human being. I live by our social rules of trying to not be a jackass.
Yeah.
Now, when my wife has to get up and I actually get to sleep past like 6 a.m., 3, 4 snoozes.
Okay.
Well, that means I'm already up for 36 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back
once
to
again,
sleep after that.
That's the appeal, back to sleeping in 2 separate bedrooms, because if you wake up at a different time, then you're not waking that other person up. Throughout the day, I have 4 alarms for different things: to wake up, to go to a meeting, to pick Liam up. But
alarms?
Yeah, like ones that like remind me.
Is that a reminder?
Isn't that a reminder?
Yeah. Well, I mean, does
Wouldn't
it
that be the
actually
same
make an
thing?
alarm sound?
Yeah,
Though? Like
yeah.
I have it on my. I'll have it come, pop up as a thing on my phone, but I won't have it make sounds like I got to go to a meeting.
Then what's the point of it?
Well, because it'll vibrate.
So it alerts you in some way.
It alerts me, but it's not making alarm sounds. You know what I mean? I want to say good morning to Chris, who says 3 times is the norm. I need 27 minutes to come to terms with why I have to get up.
What's happening again?
Good morning to, he just calls himself Weed. He says at least 4 times every single morning. Glenner says, never. I don't even have an alarm clock. I just get up. It's awesome.
Oh, that sounds terrifying. To never set an alarm?
Okay, so let's put yourself in a different position. Let's say you had a job that started at noon. You probably wouldn't have an alarm,
No,
right?
I wouldn't need an alarm for that. But I mean, yeah, like who lives that life aside from
That
just
sounds
people that don't have kids,
amazing.
don't have responsibilities?
Good morning to Jim. He says I shut it off before it goes off so my wife can keep sleeping. I want to get married. JJ, you have a problem on your hands.
Yeah.
How many times are you hitting that snooze? I mean, so 4 seems to be the most normal that we're getting from people. So you're really going to just hang out in bed for an extra 30 seconds. I'm from the second the alarm goes off, out of the shower, teeth brushed, maybe even a cup of coffee, and on the road in those 36 minutes. And you're just laying there?
Once again, not good for your health.
Friday, as we were kind of wrapping up the show, we get a call from a listener. I just answer. I say, good morning, it's Kat and JJ like normal. You guys are never going to believe what just happened to me. And we are like, sure, go ahead, shoot. I walked into work. There's somebody sitting at my desk. And I said, hey, that's my desk. She said, actually, it's not.
Oh, my God.
The boss wants to see you. Walk into my boss's office. She gets told, hey, we're letting you go today. She gets and usually if there's not a great reason or they don't want to go in great detail, they're like, you can talk to HR or hey, it's just whatever the situation. So I think that happened about 8 o'clock. We were wrapping up the show close to 10 o'clock. And she had kind of gotten through all the mess and here's what your severance is and blah, blah, blah. And it didn't sound like she was going to be out of work for too long. But it made me start thinking, like, imagine you just walk in today to work and somebody's sitting at your spot already. Your spot has already been filled. How else could you get fired that would be in a little wonky way. Have you ever been canned at all? Ever?
I've never been fired.
Never.
I have to sit this one out. I am not, well, I guess I could say I'm pretty ideal.
You're the perfect employee.
I would like to say that. I work very hard for whatever company I work for. And, but I did, when I put in my 2 weeks, when you hired me down here, I was in Fargo working for a morning show. And I remember walking into my boss's office and I said, hey, I just signed these papers, putting in my 2 weeks. It took the length of a football field for me to get back to the studio to find out that he had already texted the Midday Girl to say, hey, would you like to be on the morning show? But I was like, really? I mean, the soil is not even cold yet.
I've never been fired where I didn't know it was going to happen. Like I've always been good at sensing the heat. You know what I mean? Like when I haven't meshed with my boss, and there was always a problem with everything I did, even though it wasn't a problem. Like I'd take this situation to other people and they're like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah.
When they start seeing a problem in the little things you do, then you know the hammer's probably coming down.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been the way with like, listen, this is what you did. This is your last chance to fix it. Like I've never just cold fired somebody because it's tough. You want to give that person a chance to fix something because it's so hard to make a new hire.
Yeah. It is. And I think people know that right now. I think people are like, I'm going to act how I want to act because nobody else is applying for stuff right now. And you'd be ish out of luck if I weren't here. I think people have that mentality.
I'm looking for anyone that got fired in a really kind of crazy way or an unusual way. Now's the time for you to call, okay? And like I said, I can keep you anonymous. We don't have to say your name. I can put you on voice change. But I want to hear the story about how you got fired and it was just a banana situation. I want to talk about the friggin' wonky way you got fired. We had a listener Friday morning call us about 10 a.m. and she had just gotten canned. But the way she found out was that she walked in and somebody's sitting at her desk. She's like, that's my desk. She's like,
You know what I think could qualify for this is that, remember that beauty school that was in town and everyone showed up?
Oh, and the doors were locked.
And they said, we are no longer in business.
This happened to me at a radio station.
Really?
I took a radio job in La Crosse way, way back in the day. I took the job. I quit my job. I was working in southern Iowa. I quit my job. I gave my 2 weeks. That weekend, I roll up to La Crosse. I'm going to go looking for an apartment. And when I get into town, the radio station's not, I kept hitting the button. The radio station's not on.
Like nothing?
Zero.
No static?
Nothing. I mean, it was just dead air. And so immediately when you're in radio and you hear dead air, you call someone in case somebody's not paying attention. So I call the guy that hired me. I go, hey, Jason, there's dead air. And he goes, actually, we were all just let go today.
Wow.
And I go, wait, what? And he goes, yeah, the salespeople can't really sell this format, so they're going to go back to easy listening. And I was like,
they didn't
what?
need anybody to jock it at all?
No, they were going a whole new format, a whole new bunch of DJs. They were, And so I'm like, well, what does that mean? He goes, well, we're going to pay you 2 months severance.
So tell me how severance works, because I've never had to be in that situation.
Well,
do you usually take it for as long as you're out of work?
No. It's part of your exit package. They offer you, most companies will offer you a certain amount of severance for every year of loyalty you've had to that company.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of times if you work there for 20 years, you'll probably get maybe 6 months severance or something like that. That might even be generous. But I got 2 months severance. So basically they gave me enough money. Like they just wrote me a check for what I was working, what I would have worked for 2 months.
Yeah.
And what was weird is I got another job the next day. So, and I just I had already given my 2 weeks. So because I was shopping jobs, and the one that I turned down, I call her back and I go, hey, and I told her the situation. I said, I'd love to work for you. She's like, even though we're your second choice, we'll take you on. Yeah. And so, boom, I just changed directions. I just went on a different freeway and went to that next town
with a nice big
and
check.
Found an apartment. So that's kind of cool. But what was the weird thing you did, or maybe the weird way you found out that you were getting fired? Brian, you want to tell us the story here real quick, man?
We knew a girl that she actually got in trouble for stealing paper plates. We worked at a place where we do delivery, and she needed to have plates for her house. And instead of buying them, she would steal paper plates from the company.
Okay.
And they kept having this inventory come up short of paper products. So after we got our cameras installed, they busted her stealing paper plates from the back. and you wouldn't think you'd make a big deal over something like that, but they add up that she'd taken about 6 cartons of them.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
that's
stealing.
probably about $200-300 worth of paper goods.
Sure.
Yeah.
They fired her, and then the ironic thing is she went then and she worked at a fast food restaurant where she got caught stealing paper plates again.
Oh my
So she never
God.
learned her lesson from the first time.
Sure.
And I think they actually pressed charges against her for theft.
And if you're going to steal something, I'm not endorsing theft, but if you're going to steal something, not paper plates, do better.
Well, I think she was trying to stay under the radar because people would be like, oh, we don't know if anybody would steal that. But it does add up. And if she doesn't get fired for that, you're showing other people that maybe they can skim off the top.
Maybe.
Paige had texted when I was working for the county, they let me work all day. They got their money's worth and then let me go. No warning or anything.
Well, they say there's the less chance of conflict
Yeah.
and people getting angry or even violent, especially if you do it on a Friday and at the end of the workday. Usually people are on their way out and everybody's got a weekend to calm down or whatever. But was there a weird, wonky way that you got fired or maybe something you're a little embarrassed about? We'd love to hear about it. I got to get your opinion on something here real quick. How would you handle this situation? Let's say you and your husband were watching your child play baseball all day.
Is this not you?
This is for sure not me.
Okay. All
Let's say you were at the baseball field all day. And let's say a couple of games got stretched out a little bit longer because of rain delays, and it really was all day. And then let's say your husband says to you right before you're about to leave, hey, our daughter is bartending at the bar that's 1 minute away from our house. Do you want to stop for a beer real quick on the way home and say hi to your daughter who goes to college and you never see her anymore?
This is the craziest hypothetical I've ever heard. Okay.
Again, all hypothetical. And you say, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So as you're approaching this bar that might be close to your house, if your husband says, listen, can we run home real quick? I have to use the bathroom because I don't want to poop at the bar because you've been eating baseball food all day and you got to take the one huge poop a day that you're kind of down to because old age is kicking in. If this was your husband,
Okay.
what would you say to that? Would you just say, what would you say?
I would say no.
Shut
I would
up.
say we are not going out of our way so you can use your own personal toilet.
Even if your home is 1 minute away,
I don't care.
1 mile away.
Go use the toilet. Just go use a toilet. I've never, ever, and this is Derek, he will leave work. He'll drive 15 minutes to our home. He does this maybe once a week to use his own personal basement toilet. And then he'll make his way back home. It's like, wow. To me, that is just so unnecessary.
We're 3 blocks away from this place.
I don't
Our
care.
beautiful daughter is slinging drinks. We want to say hi to her. I said, I got to cry. I really got to poop. And she goes, we'll just.
So this is you.
We'll I mean, no, this happened to a friend of mine.
Okay.
And then his wife just goes, we'll just stay at home then. And I'm like, I can rifle one off real quick.
She canceled plans altogether.
She cut the whole crap and works out. She said, nope, we'll just stay at home. And I go, it's going to be like 3 minutes.
Then why couldn't you just do it in a public toilet?
I don't,
Who cares?
Because listen, if there's a bar toilet
You can do it here.
on a Saturday, yep, because it's a calm environment here.
Oh, there's too much
Much
chatter.
going on. The music's playing. Drunk people are walking in and out of the bathroom. And a guy's bathroom is just less conversational than a women's bathroom. I just wanted to poop at home. It was 1 minute away. And my wife, nope, we're not doing anything then.
I do not understand the people that can't just go in public.
And if I would have just dropped her off and went home and then came back, she'd be sitting at the bar all by herself without a drink because she couldn't order it herself. I got to order it.
I feel like I would just, once I got home and waited for your, quote, 3 minute, which I know would probably extend to 15.
Even though we got nothing
I'd be
going
like,
on.
I'm just going to stay here. So I'm sure that that's what she knew she was going to feel like.
All
so.
she had to do was sit in the car, look at Instagram for 3 minutes, and I would have been fresh as a daisy.
Or you could just go and use a public
I didn't
toilet.
want to poop at a bar. It's not on my radar anymore. I'm at a point in my life where I've graduated from crapping at the bar.
I have a mission if you choose to accept it. I want you to try this week to, if you are at home and you feel like you have to go, I want you to get up and leave and go somewhere and just see how it goes. You gotta handle it. You're an adult. You gotta be able to
I did
deliver.
handle it. I wanted comfort, convenience, and quiet. Ugh. Am I off base on this? I would really like to get your thoughts on it real quick. If this was your husband and he just wanted to go 1 minute away to his own personal bathroom, would you just blow up plans altogether? It will be a winter wonderland when you get free tickets to check out Pentatonics. This is going to be fun. November 20th at Grand Casino Arena. It's the Christmas in the City tour. And if you want free tickets, bring us into work. We've got them for you at 8:05 Tuesday morning during our live show, plus a shot at $50,000 just before that at about 7:05. So lots of reasons to hang with the live show, but in case you missed it this morning, let's finish up the rest of the podcast.
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo!
Bingo what bingo?
Bingo!
Natasha's first through, just sitting here waiting on line one, but is she somebody listening who
has said something to their boss that they just really wanted to get off their chest, or yet a moment of unprofessionalism in the UK? This woman, she sued her boss, even though she was the one that called him a terrible name, and she got $40,000 because evidently in the workplace in the UK, don't try it here. You can't get fired over it.
like here you can say shag, there you can't.
Right.
Right.
Because it's like the Effenheimer.
Yeah, right. So she calls her boss the D-head. He cans her. She sues him, and she gets $40,000.
Have you ever had a boss that you wanted to yell at right in their face?
I got fired from a radio job, and I told my boss on the way out. So first, they owed me money, and they didn't have it on my severance check. And so I waited in the front lobby and made everybody uncomfortable until they cut me, like hand wrote me another check.
You don't mess with people's money.
And this guy was like, 6 foot, maybe about 350 pounds.
Oh, God.
And just like, and he had the worst wig ever, like male toupee. And I just said, after I took my check, I said, it was a pleasure working here until you got here. By the way, you really stink. You have a bad body odor. And he just kept pointing at the door like he didn't know what to say to me because I love that kind of confrontation. So you either said what you really thought about your boss on the way out, or mine is anyone listening who was homeless for a while. I was chatting with one of my high school friends and a girl that we went to school with who was really, really bright. And we had a super small class. He's like, do you know she's living on the streets? And I'm like, wait, what? And nobody really knows, how she got to that point.
In your small town, she's still living
No. She's in Minneapolis, I guess. She had went to college there. And I heard she was married and had kids. And he's like, she's living on the streets. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, it's a crazy world out there. Natasha, which one do you fit? Who's going to get the bingo here?
JJ.
Oh, my gosh. You were homeless for a while. What's going on? Natasha.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's July 23, at the end of July. And how it happened, I still don't know. I just know I was going through it mentally that year for a long time, and all of a sudden it was like there, and I was being kicked out, and I have a 3-year-old child, and
oh my God.
It was the most humbling, scariest 12 weeks of my life.
So the child, did they stay somewhere, or did you have a child with you in this situation?
He was with me, and I would do Instacarts every day to make sure we had a hotel. During that 12 weeks, we stayed in the car 6 days. We stayed at a shelter for 9, and the rest of it was in a hotel. Okay. But it was difficult, and I had every resource available, and it was just so hard finding a place. And I would listen to my son every day saying, Mom, I just want to go home. I just want to go home.
God, that's heartbreaking.
And yeah, it's very humbling very quickly. And that's, I kind of get angry when I see people, bash the homeless, because it's like some people, it could happen to anybody.
What got you over the hump? What got you back to, finding a stable spot to live?
It was my son, just, him saying that every day was my push. And, every day I woke up, I'm going to work a little bit harder at finding a place. And it took one landlord to say, yeah, here we go. I can work with her. And I've been at this place for almost 2 years now. And I advocate now for homeless. And So it was an experience.
You saw the worst, and then all of a sudden you saw the best in humanity when that landlord took a chance.
I'm so glad that you were given a chance, because to not only deal with mental health, also being a single mom and just having to find somewhere for your child to be safe and lay their head, the pressure, I can't even imagine.
So your son is going to be, if you said this was in 23, your son's going to be like 5 or 6 right now. Does he still talk about that time?
Oh, yes. Yes, he does. And it's crazy. He has such a good heart. We were walking out of Savers. He saw a homeless gentleman, and he had his allowance money on him. Oh. And he said, "Mom, I want to give this to that guy." Oh. And I mean, he definitely he remembers it and wants to help.
So through your struggle, your son has really now developed a sense of empathy.
Yes.
He's been there. He's gone through it too.
Definitely.
Do you think that if he had been with you, that you wouldn't have climbed out of that hole as fast as you did?
Oh, I would still probably be stuck in it. It's very easy to get stuck in it. I tell people that being homeless without a child would have been so much easier, because my focus was on him, having a roof over his head, feeding him. I mean, there was days I didn't eat just so I could have a hotel and to feed him. So, yeah, it would have been a lot easier to get stuck in.
Yeah. Well, hey, this was really, really brave for you to call this morning. Thanks for sharing. Hopefully it offers some inspiration and some empathy for everybody that's listening.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Have a great day.
All right. So there was a cute little town festival about 5 minutes away from our house. And on Saturday, like around 7 o'clock, I asked Liam, I said, "You want to go?" He had some friends there. And so I met some of my friends and got a White Claw, just kind of standing around. And I don't know, to just watch the band.
Did you do any rides or go to any carny things?
It was very small, so it didn't have that stuff. It had a band. It had some Hammerschlagen.
Ooh.
Did some Hammerschlagen, so that was fun. I'm terrible at that game. And then I found I was like, I'm going to run to the bathroom, going to come back, going to get Liam, and we're going to head out. And on my way back, I see this older guy, kind of look like, who's got the deep voice from A Star is Born? Famous deep voice. Who is that? He plays the brother of Bradley Cooper. Who is it? You know who it is.
I never saw the movie.
You never saw Star is Born?
No.
Okay. Anyway, I could have looked that up before this story, but he looked a lot like him. And he goes to sit down, and I just saw it in slow motion. He had one butt cheek on the seat, and then the other butt cheek was off, and he just went a-tumbling.
Oh, no.
And it was sad because it was like, just like an older person falling, but his beer went everywhere. Oh. And I was like, oh, he's like wasted. So all these men standing around, I'm the only one that helped this poor guy up. Yes, they're like, Uncle Larry. And I'm like, okay, so this is a townie. I help him up. He sits down. I said, you know what? I'm going to go get you another beer. And then instantly I felt bad about that, because I'm like, I shouldn't contribute to the delinquency of this old person. But I went up there. They don't ask questions at small town festivals like that. I'm like, this guy poured his beer out. Can I get some more? So they refilled it. I go over there, and then he started hitting on me, which I don't blame him, And so he's like, what's your name? I said, Kat. He's like, I'm Uncle Larry. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. And he's like, are you from around here? And I'm like, I'm married. He goes, I didn't ask you that, baby. And I was like, oh my God.
Let's go, Uncle Larry.
So he was spitting some game. I didn't mind, but every town has that one person. Every town has that townie. Did your Belle Plaine have that person?
We had one guy. His name was Fritzy Hertz. And Fritzy. Okay, so the little town I grew up in, Belle Plaine, Minnesota, had like 2,500 people in it, all right? And the neighboring little itty-bitty town next to it wasn't even officially a town. It was just like where a couple of people lived.
Yeah.
And it was called Blakely.
Is it a town now?
No. I mean,
it's gone?
No, it's got like a feed mill and a small church. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was ever like incorporated as a city. Anyways, Fritzy Hertz, the legend was he was the mayor of Blakely, because it was a joke, because it wasn't really a town, right? Yeah. But this guy, we had, like most small towns in the upper Midwest, we had a coast to coast, which was right on our main two streets. That was like the main spot in town. You could go there and get like everything from laundry detergent to a brand new lawnmower.
Okay.
And like most small towns, whether you have like an Ace or a Coast to Coast, they would line up the lawnmowers outside of the building. And there was always at least one riding lawnmower. And every day when we'd leave school and we'd walk past it, Fritzy would be sitting on the lawnmower with a toothpick.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this guy was a raging alcoholic or not, but he never said boo to us. We'd always go, hey, Fritzy.
Yeah.
And
who would he say boo to?
I don't know. I just don't know. I just remember my dad going, that's Fritzy. Yep, he's the mayor of Blakely.
Yeah.
And I was always like, what?
Let him be.
But the weirdest part was he walked, like the opposite of pigeon toed, like when you're way out, like he kind of walked like, and so we always said, what are you doing, Fritzy? You kicking dirt in manhole covers? Because
so his feet were like this,
his feet were
like...
his feet were always out.
Oh, wow.
So when he'd shuffle, we'd always go, what are you kicking dirt in manhole covers? So we had a towny guy like that, but he passed away maybe when I was an early teenager.
Did everybody go to his funeral? I feel like somebody that does not alienate people like a townie.
I don't know. That's a great question because my dad was on the city council at the time. And I don't remember him even saying anything about a funeral. I don't think this guy
should have organized
I don't think this guy had a family. He for sure didn't have a wife, for sure didn't have kids. And I think he kind of lived with his mom, who was probably in her like 90s or, close to 100.
Yeah.
And old Fritzy every day coast to coast would be sitting there on the riding lawnmower.
That sounds charming.
It kind of was. I mean, it
sounds a little less
simpler time
than Uncle Larry.
Well, he never asked me how I was doing, if I was married or anything like that, or if I had a girlfriend. But old Fritzy never bothered a soul, just sat there eating his toothpick.
What a sweet story. Sam Elliott, by the way.
That's
who
what
he looked like. But longer, kind of like dustier look to him. Like he went through a sandstorm.
Do you think that guy's married, but yet hitting on everything?
He was not. I don't think he was.
Uncle Larry did not hit.
He was running amok. So I feel like a wife would have had a tether.
Do you have a townie like that? Like there's one person in your town that everybody knows because of, for whatever reason. But when you introduce yourself as Uncle Larry.
But everybody did. They were like, oh, that's Uncle Larry laying on the ground. I'm like, well, can we help Uncle Larry up? I know he's I don't know his story. I don't know his background, but I assume he has his own chair
hammered, though.
The bar that's in that town. Yes, that's why he fell.
He just didn't.
He was so wasted.
Seat.
No. And then he got up and he tried to sit down again. But you know how you kind of brace yourself against the air. And
did you just go get him another drink?
He had to spill it
in
my whole story.
You didn't? I didn't hear that part about the drink.
No, I went and filled it up again, and I felt bad that I did that because I'm like, he's already wasted. But then I said to this guy, I go, should I be getting him another drink? And he goes, he's not driving home. Go ahead. So somehow they find him his way home.
Or he walks. Good. He probably lives within about 3 minutes of wherever this was.
I hope he didn't walk, but yeah.
What if he's listening right now?
You got an Uncle Larry story.
Let's get to this email.
We've got email.
Hey, thanks, Caitlin, for emailing us. I appreciate it. You can hit us up anytime with a text, a phone call, a DM, or an email.
There you go. I wanted to get to this because I don't want her to keep dating somebody and wasting her time. I think that it might be over, but let me just explain. She says, I'm trying to make this relationship work, but I feel like maybe this is a glimpse into what my future might be. I'm a vegetarian, have been for 15 years, a personal choice. I'm definitely not a pushy vegetarian. I can eat with people that order wings, burgers. I don't care. However, I've been dating this guy for 3 months and I don't know if it's worth my time anymore. Every single time we make food or we go out, it's a focus that he just won't let go. The fact that I don't eat meat. He'll make such a big deal out of it. He'll order a huge bloody steak, which is fine. But then he'll harass me, take a bite, even though he's so hot and great with my family. I don't know if I can continue on with this. So, Caitlin, there's a good and a bad to emails. Good is that we got the whole story. Do we? Because I have some more questions. Like, have you had that conversation with him? Like, I really, really don't like you pushing me to eat meat. This is my choice. Can we just have our meal and be good about it? Or do you just kind of flippantly say, oh, knock it off. No, I don't want to bite. No, knock it off.
Caitlin's a man.
What are you talking about?
This is how guys react to really hot girls. You're willing to put up with crap that you don't want to put up with just because she's a dime.
Women have done that forever, and it's not because the guy is hot. Women just put up with men sometimes for way too long. And yeah, he may be hot, but you'll find another hottie out there that respects your personal choice.
That likes lettuce.
That likes the fact that you are sticking true to how you feel about something.
Would that be a deal breaker for you if Derek was commenting every time you ate on something?
Yes. But if he chose to be a vegetarian, like my brother out of nowhere when he was 9, chose to be a vegetarian for about 15 years. Now he's back on meat.
Yeah,
I like him more.
What got him back on meat?
I don't know. We'd go to Subway and he would just get like a whole veggie sandwich.
Was he groggy all the time?
No, but I mean, people do things because it's what they want to do. I don't know if it's worth it. Just that harassment. That'd be really draining.
But is he doing it playfully? Is he just like, ooh, try
but like
some,
it's over
try
with.
some.
Like 3 months of this, he hasn't gotten. It's not a good joke. It's like kind of played out, Maybe embarrass him. Maybe just be like, you did that joke before.
Hey, will you call us real quick if you're living in one of these intermedial relationships?
Or maybe you have advice for Caitlin. It's like you've been in a situation where they just keep giving you crap about something and it's old.
I would love to know if you're vegan or a vegetarian and you're with a meat eater, how do you make it work? Can you recap the email we got from Caitlin here real quick?
Yes. And I just want to say, Caitlin, that Samantha texted in and she kind of agrees with you that like not a lot of people take vegetarians seriously, which is weird to me. It's a personal choice. But Caitlin emailed us and said, I'm trying to make this relationship work, but I feel like maybe this is a glimpse into what my future may be. I've been a vegetarian for 15 years, personal choice, but she's not one of those pushy vegetarians. She's like, I can eat with people that order wings or burgers. I don't care. However, I've been dating this guy for 3 months. Don't know if it's worth my time anymore. Every single time we make food or we go out to eat, the focus is on the fact that I don't eat meat. He makes such a big deal out of it. He'll order a huge bloody steak, which is fine, but then he'll harass me and be like, come on, just take one bite. And he's hot and he's great with my family, but it's just so annoying. Caitlin, I could overlook a lot of things for like a hot person, but if somebody is like forever harassing me about a personal choice that isn't a big deal, that would wear me down.
I could care less what you eat, but if you ever order milk at a bar
with ice,
I'm probably going to fight you.
Yeah, there are certain things that I don't back down from. But I also don't think a lot of people take others that are vegetarians seriously. Yes, I've made jokes about it.
What do you mean take seriously?
But just like
you don't think they're good in their career?
I think they always just are looked at like it's a phase instead of just a personal choice that isn't a big deal. Yeah. It affects nobody at all.
There's more meat for me, so I don't care.
There you go. That's a good way to look at it. So I don't know. I would ditch it.
Hey, Brittany, you got a vegetarian story here?
All right. So I was a vegetarian when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I wrote a 12-page long research paper to get out of the dissecting a frog.
Oh, my God. Okay.
And my dad, I came home on the day. I had 4 friends over to do a slumber party on a Friday. I walk in, and he had frog legs on the counter.
Oh, look at that guy.
For dinner. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? He's like laughing. He's like, yeah, I thought that this would be hilarious. I wanted frog legs after you wrote that research paper and you didn't want to dissect them. It made me hungry for some frog legs.
It makes me hungry for frog legs right now.
Dad doesn't care that you're a vegetarian.
He didn't take you seriously.
And he rags on her. So I don't, maybe just that's a good watch your bobber scenario. Because it doesn't affect you whatsoever.
Hey, real quick, do vegetarians usually only marry vegetarians? Or will you marry a carnivore?
I think food is a big deal in a relationship. I think it's nice to find somebody that has similarities in cuisine because then when you're eating at home, you don't have to make 2 separate meals.
So think about this. You're going to make dinner, but your husband doesn't particularly like that. He's on his own to find his own dinner then, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it would be the same thing. And that happens in my family all the time. My son will be like, I don't really want that. I'll go, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And it's never a big deal. So if I'm making burgers and you're a vegetarian, you're like, I don't want that. Okay, you're on your own.
So last night I stuck to that and I was very proud of myself because we made chicken wings on the grill and then some smashed Parmesan little red potatoes. And I made it. And then Liam's like, no, I'm not going to have that. And I said, okay. And then Derek and I sat down and ate our food. And he was just kind of looking at us like, excuse you. I put my order in and I said, get up. You know where the blue box is. You know how to work the air fryer. So he made himself some buffalo crispy chicken mac and cheese. I said, there you go. You can do it.
Teaching him life skills.
Yes.
Look at you. Yeah. Mom of the year. One of the stories that I saw this morning when I got in was this knucklehead who went into TJ Maxx, pocketed a bunch of stuff. And first off, like, who steals from TJ Maxx? And literally just went for a bite to eat at the Wendy's next door. And then that's where they tracked her down.
She just got super hungry.
Apparently.
And just couldn't get out of there.
Got to get yourself a Frosty right after you make a big theft.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of great stuff at TJ Maxx. I would think that it's pretty appealing to a lot of thieves out there.
I've walked in there twice, and it's such chaos that I got such bad anxiety that I had to leave. I was like, Trish, you're on your own. I'll be waiting outside.
I'm gonna go on like a Wednesday at 10:30, just really get it before the crowd.
So I thought, all right, we're not all angels. I would hope you're not doing it as an adult. It's probably in your formative, stupid teenage years. Where'd you steal from?
So I've never stolen anything with a barcode. So I really don't feel terrible.
What doesn't have a barcode?
Like a cherry. Or
okay, like
a little butterscotch
raw
candy.
Food?
Yeah. Or like a little apple. And
you never went into Target as a teenager and stole lipstick or something like that?
An apple has a sticker, so I could say that. No, I've never done that. I did have a friend, and I'm going to say her name, Missy, and I can say it because enough time has gone by, but it used to kind of be a sport for her, and it gave me anxiety because we would go to a Target, we'd go to a Walmart, there'd be 6 of us, and we'd be walking around, and she would like find it fun or like a thrill to take a lip balm or something like that. And then we'd get in the car and she'd be like, guys. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like guilty because I'm in here with you.
You were Ocean 6 at like 12 years old.
Yeah, except for I was like, walking around because I didn't think like that. I didn't want to take
pre-camera phase.
Yeah.
Places were getting robbed blind, I bet.
Yeah. So I never did anything like that would garner a call from the cops to my parents.
I stole once. I was 7 years old. I stole a Star Wars figure from our little 5 and dime in our little hometown. And my dad, after my mom figured out that I stole it, my dad took me to the owner's house that night. It made me sit on a chair in his living room until that guy got home.
Oh God.
Made me apologize. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
I thought it was a death sentence. I thought my father was leading me to the gallows.
But now that you're an adult, I bet that guy was like, after you left, like, how funny.
And he wasn't like
probably
super mean.
Yeah.
But he was stern. You know what I mean? And he was like, this is why stealing hurts me. Here's my wife. These are pictures of my kids. When you steal, you're stealing money from me. And now they don't have, like, my son might not be able to pay his rent this month because you stole from me. Like, he put it on that gravity. And I'm like, I'll never steal again. I promise. I promise. Got a text from Ryan. He said, we used to go to Shopko and get CDs, but they had that long, like 2-foot plastic, like ladder for security attached to them. We'd go over to the hardware section and then cut them off and steal the CDs.
Wow. Philip mentioned Coast to Coast. That's the first time, aside from you mentioning Coast to Coast, that I've ever heard of that store.
Oh, they used to be every small town had a Coast to Coast.
Philip says pocket knives.
Used to steal those. I bet you. Yeah, those were a big thing, especially if you're a kid, because you probably saw some old guy whittle and you wanted a knife.
And, stealing is not a victimless crime. It's true. There are a lot of people like us, other patrons, we will be penalized because if you go to Ulta and you see those people just like steal all that stuff, they're going to uptick the price and we're going to have to, the people that actually pay stuff, that's our penalty.
When I was a junior in college, I was working at the Mall of America and we would get, I worked at this place called Games by James. And most of the time we just sold like high-end chess sets and it was a lot of like board games and stuff like that. They'd mark up, like you could go to Walmart and get Monopoly for $10, but we'd sell it for $25. Just because it was in the Mall of America and people were willing to pay that for. But when Beanie Babies were really big, I was working there. And we used to have somebody stand next to the Beanie Babies because so many were getting stolen. And you know who was stealing them? Middle-aged women.
Yes.
Middle-aged women have no shame when it came to Beanie Babies. They would just throw them all in their purse. You'd see them, and I'd go, "What about those ones in your purse?" Oh yeah, I was putting those in there because I wanted to make sure nobody else got them.
And they probably just had a conversation with their kids about not stealing.
Yeah.
Women are crazy.
Yeah, we all learn like that. But where was the place you stole from? What did you have to have so bad that you were willing to go to jail?